Alright guys, so today's back day and maybe should have been maybe a rest day. I don't know. My back feels ready to go. I'm just really exhausted and tired. So my sleep score last night again was really horrible. So this is something that I'm trying to fix, but unfortunately it's hard to fix when you have so many things going on like nightmares and the bladder issues and all that stuff. But so last night my sleep score is, let's see here, because a lot of people, so it's kind of funny because a lot of people don't believe me about the nightmares, and this will show you. So I laid down last night at midnight, and then I didn't fall asleep until actually fall into REM sleep until about 1:16. But score is 49, poor quality, and you can see all that where I'm just like getting up and waking up all the time. So this was one thing that I used with the Apple Watch, because sometimes like your doctors are like, oh, you really experience what you're saying, and then when I showed them that kind of stuff, they're like, what the heck. But I noticed this is way more accurate compared to the Apple Watch, because like the Apple Watch probably would have had me at like a 60 with this kind of amount of interruptions, and it didn't exactly get every single interruption. This one gets every single one. So, but yeah, so I think that's like sleep is probably most important, honestly. And so I think today I might, depending on how I feel, I might take getting 10K steps today and not make that a priority, and just like try to take a nap or try to, because like I have to take like muscle relaxers, and so if I take a muscle relaxer, maybe I can try to relax and sleep. So I got some doctor's appointments today for my bladder and all that stuff that I got to get that kind of just looked into more. But anyways, we're gonna still push, we're still gonna go hard, and we're gonna keep going, you know. So that's pretty much what we got to do here, is just keep going. And this is when my hunger will rise, and like all my stuff will like start increasing, because then it's like you're so tired but your body needs fuel, and then your body's like freaking out, and it's like, well, sorry about that, I was talking to my friend. But yeah, so we just got to really try to prioritize some sleep here, because then it's going to affect everything. Like I tell you guys, like sleep is probably one of the most important things. So when I was locked in on sleep, I was able to stay on my deficit easier. Like everything just like, training, everything just felt so much better. Mentally, you'll feel better. It's just one of those things where sometimes, unfortunately, people have issues sleeping, and we just gotta try to figure out how to fix it, hopefully soon, because it's gonna ramp up my hunger, and then you're gonna be sitting there fighting yourself, because your body's like, dude, I need fuel. You're not getting sleep. It's gonna be like, I want more rice, I want more carbs, I need more energy, and you're gonna be sitting there fighting yourself. So, and well, another thing too is I'm starting to realize I don't know if I really want to get to 10% or not. Like, I want to drop more fat before we start the bulk. Definitely. I'm thinking about getting to like 180, 185, and then starting the bulk from there. Maybe 190. We'll see how we look. Because kind of looking, I don't know, man. Like, trying to, like, talking to people who hit that 10%, it's just not healthy. Like, they're just like, they're struggling mentally, physically. And a lot of people say, like, do not, when you get to 10%, don't stay there long. Like, it's not healthy being at that low percentage. Like, you want to be between 15 and 20 is what's supposed to be, like, really, like, good and healthy. And so a lot of them are like, I'd rather chill at 15%, and stuff like that. So maybe we'll just get to that maybe 15% and see what we feel like, see how we look, and decide from there if we wanna cut down or just kind of stay around at that 15%, right? So I don't know. So we'll just kind of go off how we feel and how we look. So that's why I tell people all the time too, when you're losing weight, don't have an exact number set in your head, kind of like how I just did right there. I was like, oh, we'll see at like 190, 185, because you might drop down to 200, and then you might look really amazing, right? You might be like, oh my gosh, my muscles are big, you can see my abs. Like, it just really depends on each person, right? But then you got someone who doesn't have much muscle, and when they get to 200, they still look like they have a lot of fat on them. And so then they'll need to drop more, right? So I say more go off of like how you feel and how you look versus on focusing that number on that scale. Unless you're trying to get into like a competition or something and you have to be at a certain weight, then yeah, obviously, you got to make sure you focus more on that number, right? But other than that, just don't let that number really affect you too much. Like we dropped, to 2.8 and went back up a little bit, dropped back down a little bit. And some of that stuff too, like on the scale, the reason why, because people will be like, well, this is confusing, right? You say calories in versus calories out, it's the only thing that matters. But if your sleeping is like complete trash, then why do you hold on to more weight? Well, you might still lose more fat. Like you still will lose fat, right, with the lack of sleep, but then your body's just more stressed. So it has a harder time letting go away that fat, and it has a harder time where was I thinking, where I was going with this? My mind right now, I'm so freaking tired. It has a harder time because it's just like so stressed out, right? So then it'll hold on to more water weight, it'll hold on to more of that kind of stuff. So then when you go onto the scale, your scale might go up because your body held on to so much more water the past couple days because it's so stressed versus just letting that water go, or vice versa, like that kind of stuff. So that's where it's like, that's why that scale number doesn't equal always fat loss, because there was a lot of times where I was staying at 250 but you could tell I was dropping fat. Like you can see I was going through a body recomp, or I was obviously dropping fat. So it's not always about that number on the scale, right? Because you might be putting on muscle while dropping your fat too. So it's like you just have to, like right now with us staying at 212, we've been stuck for that for a week. But you can tell I've lost fat. You can see more loose skin at the bottom, like around my belly, and I'll show it more on this pose now. But you can really see around my chest area I've lost more fat, and around the belly, below the belly, I have a lot more loose skin. I have more loose skin right now around my abs, so that shows to me that I'm losing more fat too. And then if you sit there and the little areas where you have fat, like especially around your belly, if you sit there and do this on your skin, like put the fat between your skin and you go like this, but you feel like it's more watery instead of that fat feeling, that means that fat is gone and water is sitting there now. So your body will hold on to that water until it's no longer stressed, and then it'll let that water out of there. So you see what I'm saying? So where you could have lost some fat, but then your body is holding on to that water because it's so stressed out, and it replaces water in that area. So then once you get your sleep better and you get all that, then that water will come out of there, and then all of a sudden it'll be loose skin, or the skin will tighten up to where your fat is. So it's kind of like that. But anyways, from what I don't know if that's science, but that's from my experience of looking at myself and feeling the fat and all that stuff. But I would have to look more into it. I think that is scientifically correct as well. Not sure though. But anyways, let's get in there and do our back day. So we're going to do pull downs, back rows. We're going to do traps. We haven't hit traps in a while. And then we're going to hit sauna. I don't have enough time to do a cardio session before I got my doctor's appointment, so I'll just save my walking and all that stuff for later in the day. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go in there and get started. Pretty good back day and traps. So I noticed this watch did inaccurately count some stuff, so it was acting like I was doing deadlifts instead of shoulder, or instead of traps, shrug. So I'll have to go through and edit all that. But pretty good lift. I'm really tired now. And I'm about to show you guys what I mean about how I know I'm still losing fat even though the scale hasn't changed. And if you guys go back on just even like 2-3 weeks ago on these videos, and you compare this, you're gonna notice this, you're gonna see the difference as well. So let's check how the back and everything is looking. I'm gonna be honest, I'm starting to become like really exhausted. So right here, I don't know if you can tell right now on camera, but there's so much more loose skin right in here compared to on my other videos. All this is just like pure loose skin right here that I did not have. I had a little bit, but this is like more. And then I'm having a little bit of loose skin in here. So I don't know how that's gonna affect the way you can see my abs. So that's why I'm even thinking, I'm like, is 10% even gonna be worth it? Because I don't think you're gonna be able to fully see my abs anyways, because I'm gonna have so much loose skin that I would have to pull the loose skin back like this for you guys to like, for it to pop. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of thinking. So we'll just kind of keep going and see, because you could like pull at it and that's loose skin. That's not fat right there. That's right in here is fat. Like that's more in here is fat, but all right here is just loose skin at the top. Like the top layer is all just loose skin. Now they say there's peptides you could do for that. I don't know. I'll have to do more research, see if they actually work or they're just a waste of money. But I think the only thing that would fix this, all this loose skin I'm getting, is surgery probably. But we'll just keep going and just see how we look, and just, I don't know, you never know. Maybe we drop down to like 180 and we're like, actually you can see everything pretty well. My loose skin just hangs down here. I don't know. We'll just have to keep pushing. But a little bit leaner in here still. My back, for some reason, I don't feel as like, I don't know, I can't really feel it in my back compared to how I feel it in here. But we'll see. Then we'll come hit the front. You see the lats in the front. My lats are definitely popping more. So we just gotta keep pushing and just really ramp up the cardio. And gonna really have to try to take naps or try to start sleeping better. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to get that figured out. But right now I'm like really exhausted, so I'm just gonna go hit the sauna. And then for lunch, honestly, I'm probably just gonna have turkey breast or chicken with a little bit of carbs, not much. And then just probably hit about 1,700 calories today or 1,500, just depends on how I feel. And just push cardio. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, either for arm day or rest day. I know I keep saying I probably should take a rest day coming up. Probably should take a couple. Just with the lack of sleep, I'm gonna have to probably start taking some more rest days. But I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video.